All right. Well, it's good afternoon here. First time I've done a good afternoon one for a while in GTG, so it's good to be here, guys. Yeah, sorry for the lack of correspondence today. I tried to do my best. I didn't have internet, so look, we took on a few trades because we hit levels. Now, there was several reasons, okay, that I was happy to sort of take on a few trades at these sort of levels, right? If you look here, okay, circles is going to take too long. Let me draw a brush. If you look here, okay, we had several touches over the past sort of while, guys. And if that held, then sure enough, that would have been a good level to accumulate some good leverage longs. Now we got stopped out at 4 trades. So I'm grateful we didn't have too much exposure there. But as predicted, guys, we are heading a bit lower. So a lot of news coming out today. I mean, you've got SBF tweeting like, what the hell is that? You've got US states rejecting the strategic reserve. You've got tariff news. You've got strength in the US dollar, which we can have a look at. You've got weakness across crypto. Even the NASDAQ, I think, is coming down today as well. If we have a quick look, it is the middle of the night for America. Do I not have NASDAQ? I thought I did have the NASDAQ. Maybe I don't have the NASDAQ. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, strength of dominance of the dollar. The dollar is moving up very strong. So there's a lot of catalysts, guys. We obviously saw some new market makers coming in as well. So, and they're huge. They're one of the biggest trading funds in the world, I believe. I think it is. So yeah, it's a lot of more bearish news stacked on bearish news. We are in extreme fear for the first time. I was looking at that just before. For the first time in quite a while. Let me pull that up as well. More than likely we go further down. Yeah, look, if we look at this, we have not reached this region since September last year, but literally since the bear market, 2022, the middle of the bear market. So traditionally, guys, this is opportunity. I am in the camp that I still remain bullish. If we start to close below 85, okay, if we start to close below 85, then that is the range incomplete. So in other words, this range is therefore no longer applicable. We move out of the range. And so you could probably say the range is probably about there, right? Okay. If I put the red up the top. So that would be my range. We obviously, this high here was massive, right? Like we came here, we had this high here. The fact that we failed to like confirm continuation up like that was a massive sign that this was a potential local top, at least for a while. And if you do look, March is a bit of a 50-50 month traditionally with Bitcoin. It doesn't really do too much one way or another. So that proves the point that you probably see consolidation for longer, and if not, continuation in the trend. And if you look at the trend, like again, this is on the daily, and we will spend time zooming out a little bit further, but if you zoom out, guys, the trend is no longer your friend right now. And that's why I've been stressing it so hard over the past couple of weeks to really consider de-risking and just being happy sitting in BTC, because it's obviously the one that's going to outperform, and sitting in stables. And sure enough, guys, we are now reaping the rewards for that. So protecting downside risk is just as important as taking profit and making profit in crypto, because at the end of the day, if you don't have liquidity, because you're still in positions that are going down further, then more than likely you are going to lose more than you have ever made. So that's a key point for crypto. That's why I speak about this literally every day in the group. So it's good to see this sort of playing out. Again, we've been right with the moves up and we've been right with the moves down. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get to short this. I haven't been confident enough with where price has been to short. I know Maxo shared a couple shorts recently. Shout out to him. He's a great trader. He's just busy at the moment. He'll be sharing some more trades very soon. But yeah, I wasn't really too confident to trade in this this tight range that we've been in for the past couple of weeks. That's why I was happy to wait for an extremity. The first extremity, as I just pointed out to you guys before, was this range here at the low 90K region. Okay, that was the level I was watching, and that's the level I wanted to see a reversal from. Very simple invalidation below, and sure enough, we are heading now to the next sort of liquidity zone. So the next liquidity zone is here at $89,000. If we can't hold that, then it's more than likely we retest this liquidity at 87. If not, we go all the way down to 85. So if we do take a look as well, where's my EMA? The EMA still is coming in at 85. I've said this for weeks, guys. That is my target. That has been my target for a while. Let me just add, what's it called? Bull market support band. We are officially going to be closing below the bull market support line on the daily. Okay, interesting. Okay, that changes my opinion quite a bit. Because if we close below this range, okay, we close below the bull market support band, okay, which, the 20-week and the 21-week EMA, just for those that prefer to know what the EMAs are. And we close below the 200-day moving average and the bottom of this range, I think this was definitely a macro top for a while, guys. So just, again, levels that I would be targeting, probably 74K, 73K. So it's always important to be aware of the downside risk and the upside potential. We keep it real in GTG. We don't just false hope, guys. We've been preparing this for weeks. So it's good to see it coming to fruition finally. It's good to have some volatility outside of this range. Look at this range. We literally spent, we literally spent from this period to here, we spent 3 weeks in a tiny little range. So it's finally good to actually have a break out of that range, either up or down. And then obviously it's going down as predicted over the past couple of weeks. So yeah, guys. Oh no, I haven't been sharing the right tab. All right, I'm going to have to rerun through all of that again. Guys, you got to ping me and tell me the right tab. I forget I have to do that in Discord. It's different to when I stream. Goodness me. My apologies, guys. All right, now you can see my screen. Okay, so just to reiterate a few things. That's the top of our range. Okay, up the top here. We had that double top. This is very much a double top because we have failed to close above and continue higher. Okay, strength would have been closing daily candles above this region, if not even a couple 4-hour candles above there, which we didn't get. So that was very much a top to consider. Now, obviously, as I said before, this was I was happy to give this level a long potential on those alts that we shared. So Hype, Sol, Dupe. And then obviously I was also keen to try and long Bitcoin there because invalidation was pretty clear. If it broke below that level, we were certainly going to go lower. And that's what's happening. We are coming into the first level of liquidity there at 89K, which honestly, it looks like we're probably going to break down lower. On the daily, momentum is very much to the downside. So yep, looks like we continue lower. The 200-day moving average at 85.7 currently would be my target, which aligns nicely with the bottom of this liquidity range. Now, if you do go back and consider... where is it? This as well, okay. We spoke about this a couple weeks ago. Okay, FVGs, so fair value gaps. I know Sexy's spoken about it as well. Yeah, all of the trades are stopped out now. Yep, I just pinged about that before. The fair value gaps are just levels at which liquidity is hasn't touched for a while, right? And that's the 0.5 level between it. So for example, that liquidity to this liquidity there would be the weekly 0.5, as you can see there. The 0.5. Just to show you really quickly again, that liquidity to this, obviously this week has now started to give proof of that. But as you can see, the FVG of that weekly is at that 85K level. So this remains probably my target. If you zoom out on higher time frames, you can see like we have a lot of untouched liquidity here. Like the monthly, okay, this is the monthly. The same process, okay. You would go to that week there, okay, the previous month from that week there, and the 0.5 level is at 81.5. So I maintain my bullish bias until we lose 81.5. Now, that is technically below the 200-day moving average, okay? That would be below there. As you can see here, the 200-day moving average is above the weekly FVG at the bottom of the range. With momentum pivoting down the daily on the 3-day, it's closer to the bottom. 5-day, close to the bottom. Weekly, mid-range. So, yeah, pressure the downside on the weekly. And the monthly is very overextended as well. So, yeah, I say lower, and I've been saying this for a while. That's why I've been stabling up, guys, because protecting your assets is so important. Now, for me to flip bullish, okay, for me to flip completely bearish, we'd have to lose this bottom of the range, lose the 200-day moving average, and then lose these FVGs. They could literally just be a really quick, like we could do something like this and go like that, and then really quick and then be okay again like this, okay, and then off we go like that. Would be ideally what I'd like to see. Sort of you can take that liquidity there, then sort of compound and then up there and consolidate over time. That would be what I'd love to see, and that can happen quickly, preferably. But if it happens more drawn out, then yeah, it's more pain to the downside. Now, if we just clean up the chart a little bit, get rid of some of these other things, and we come back to this, let's see what our reaction here is at 89. If not, we go, yeah, probably 85-ish region, maybe stop a little bit at 87 as well. So that's what I'm looking at right now. The trend is not your friend. If we zoom out on Ethereum as well, we are nearing an area where I start to become interested for potential plays, but it really does depend on what happens to Bitcoin right now as well. So if you do look here, we are coming into areas of massive previous history, okay, all the way back from 2022. We had a lot of liquidation or liquidity events at this region where we struggled to break above. We then broke back in, and then we off to the races. And we spent a lot of time in this zone here as well. We rejected it several times during the bear market. We then retested it, okay. You've even got kind of like a head and shoulders here as well. So that would have been a bullish continuation. So like, that's what I mean. This is a massive level, this sort of red zone down here between 2.3 and 2.1, which obviously that liquidation event occurred. Now, as I've said for a while, I am pretty hesitant to really own a lot of ETH. I have, I own more ETH than I do of Solana currently, purely because of the Sol ETH chart, but Sol's holding up actually not too bad at the moment. It actually didn't hit our stop loss yet, which is very interesting, even though BTC is capitulating to 88.7. So that's really interesting. But yeah, so keeping an eye on ETH right now, but the trend is not your friend. This does not look good. I mean, if we go the monthly, like it does not look good. And particularly because the monthly close is in 3 days. Okay. If we close below these levels, yeah, that does not look good. That does not look good. And I mean, ETH still has a lot of movement to the downside on its oscillators as well. Actually, the one thing I didn't speak about on BTC is actually the MACD as well, guys. If I bring that up as well, down the bottom, where is it? Yeah, so the MACD on the weekly has turned over. And now traditionally, guys, that is quite a bearish signal. This is several things that I thought about. And as I started this live stream as well, the fundamental analysis about what's happening in the world, like there's still talks of war. Trump is literally so volatile. He also influences nations around the world. Well, the US influences nations around the world. So yeah, fundamental analysis comes into it, and then technical analysis follows, right? So for me, I saw this MACD on the weekly, and if you look at history, guys, okay, look at history. Obviously, it's not going to repeat identically, but it can rhyme extremely consistently. So as you can see here, okay, we had MACD fall to the downside here. What happened? We capitulated to the downside. We went down by let me time the top. So it was about there. So we went down. We capitulated straight away, 22%, but we actually ended up having a 50% retracement. And then same again at the second peak of last cycle. Okay, it was this wick here where it closed. Okay, we had an initial drop of 46%, and then obviously that actually took us all the way to the lows of 74%. If we have a look at this one here, guys, earlier this cycle, if I just try and get it right, it was about there. Okay, we dropped initially straight away, 15%, but it did take some time to play out, but we had a 26% correction as well. So I'm not saying that this has, like, the one difference obviously too is that this one, okay, was higher than this one, whereas this cycle, this is actually bullish structure. That is still bullish structure until it changes. So that's actually a good thing. That is a good thing. So in the short term, medium term, we could see more pain. But if we create a higher low, that maintains bullish structure on MACD. So MACD just is moving averages that oscillate over time, and oscillators like this, okay, and like the stochastic momentum at the top, okay, are just great trending indicators that allow you to see what the trend is. And if there's a posture to the downside, if there's a cross, that is bearish, okay? That is bearish. Whereas as soon as you get that cross to the upside, so blue crosses over the orange or the gold, whichever one you want to see, that signifies a change in structure of strength, okay? And the oscillators are supporting probably a move back to the upside. And I mean, if you look at that, okay, you can just simply use this strategy. Where is my vertical line? Whenever that happens, okay, you could have bought there and you would have made money, okay? Where's the next one? Down there. You literally wouldn't have timed the bottom, but you would have got in at 22K, which is close to the bottom. We then saw a crossover here again, okay, at 26K. and then you would have made money all the way up to, that's a 3x there. And we are then waiting, okay, and I suppose, again, during that consolidation period, you could have got it again there at 59K, so you would have made a 2x. So that's what I mean, okay? It's a great indicator to use, the MACD on the weekly, and this is why I do still favor that we probably go lower. So for me, I'm still waiting to accumulate spot. I still own majority Bitcoin. Actually, no, that's a lie. Majority of my position is actually stables on-chain or in the futures account, or in my spot portfolio. It's all in stable/fiat. And Bitcoin's first position at this point of time. Now, when I start to invest in maybe other potentials, we're not going to try time the bottom, okay? I think that's a silly thing to try and do. What we're going to wait and do and see is Bitcoin show strength, okay? So I want to see Bitcoin take out key levels, or at least show that we're holding a level, okay? Holding a level, and then that's terrible. It's terrible. Let me do that again. So I want to see BTC, like whether it's this level, just for pure example, hypothetical situations. I want to see it round out a bottom, okay, create some higher lows, okay, and higher low highs, okay, so trending market like that, okay, kind of like that, and then that, if I see that, then I will look for altcoin plays again. So right now, we are just staying patient with sitting in spot, stables predominantly, waiting to see what happens worldwide, okay, because the market is influential worldwide. And you got to remember, guys, we have been on an absolute tear, like literally on an absolute tear from this here, the 1st of September, until literally what? Over the space of 122 days, the biggest crypto asset went up 110%. So yeah, you gotta just chill out. You just gotta chill out. And it's expected. This is why protecting downside risk is so important, guys. And I really hope you guys get value from that as well. But yeah, if you have any questions, guys, let me know. Anything else you want me to cover? I mean, BTC dominance is going to go up a lot, okay? Oh, I've got a double there. If we have a look here on the daily or the weekly, it's going to go up, right? Because people are /institutions /hedge funds /governments are wanting to accumulate Bitcoin over everything else, okay? So BTC dominance is going to go up as it maintains a steady rate. So in other words, its percentage drop, okay, is far less compared to the rest of the market. Hence why it maintains strength and actually pumps when the market still goes down, okay? If that doesn't make sense, I can go over that again. But as Bitcoin maintains less of a dump, then that is the reason that BTC dominance pumps. And I had been saying this for a while. I said this on the weekly. Like, I think I said this way back here. Like, we had this massive wick last, what was that? Yeah, like 3 weeks ago. And I said during this couple of weeks here, I said, look, it still has steam on the weekly for another move high. And look, it's playing out again. So yeah, it's good to be still consistent there and actually seeing what's happening with the market as well. Okay, sorry, just checking an email from my accountants. All right, sweet. Yeah, so that's my thesis there. I mean, like I said at the start too, US dollar dominance is at 5. This is massive as well. If this again starts to reject from a certain level, that's when crypto probably starts to see more strength again, okay, and more upside potential as well. So lots going on right now. I mean, I haven't looked at gold. Gold's at all-time highs right now. Why do I not have the Nasdaq or the S&P 500? I need to add them in. I swear I had them. Anyways, but that's the futures, but we can have a quick look at that. But yeah, I mean, if you look at this, like, this is a pretty wild chart, guys. Like, that is a wild chart. This has been up only. This has been up only since 2020. I mean, like, if you zoom out even further, it's just look at this. I mean, we live in a bubble. It is like this times right now are just absolutely crazy. Like, it's so expensive, yet we have like gold at all-time highs. We have Bitcoin literally just shy of all-time highs. You've got stocks at all-time highs. Like, it's crazy times. So, I mean, a cool off across risk on assets is expected with Trump volatility. And I mean, if you look at this, like, at some point, that trend has to break. It's pretty hard to maintain on the stock. So, obviously, if all risk on assets, and I mean, with the tariffs as well in that US for China and for Canada, I think it was. No, Mexico and Canada, my apologies. If that's going to be a massive thing that influences the rest of the world, right? Like, China and Australia have associations, the US and Australia have associations, so it definitely impacts the rest of the world. So keeping an eye on more than just crypto is so important at this point in time. I mean, the US dollar did break out, it's kind of chilling, but it's the dominance one that we need to keep an eye on. Like, that is a mad reaction. That is a beautiful double bottom there for the USD dominance. So yeah, pretty much that's what I'm looking at, guys. Staying patient. Total 2 is still above a key level. If we start to close below 2.7 trillion, that's when I start to go, okay, we might be in for a bit more of a consolidation phase lower. And I still do think, like, there's no reasons that I don't think we could potentially go way higher in later this year. I really am quite confident about that. This is just the first shakeout that we've had in a while. Like, I mean, look at the monthly. Like, we haven't had a monthly candle like this since, like, that was only 18% in May last year. That's not even that bad. Whereas, yeah, we're only at 13% on Bitcoin, guys. Like, I mean, like, it's still not that bad. Like, look at last cycle. We dumped, like, what is that, 35% in 1 month last cycle. So, yeah, I'm confident. I'm here for years. I'm not here for days. Yeah, avoid risk on. If you want to trade in the trenches, go for it. It's just really risky right now. I'd advise spending more time trying to learn low time frame trades. I know Sexy's been running a few live streams and stuff as well about it all. But yeah, that's what I'm currently looking at as well. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I think that's a good sort of covering of everything. We are looking at a bounce off this level. This is why liquidity levels are so important, guys. How do I establish a liquidity level? It's a price that hasn't been touched, okay? So, for example, this here, okay, we haven't traded to that region since we went down there and went like that. So that means there's untapped liquidity there. You could call all of that there. This one here at the 85K region as well is untapped liquidity. Same again with the potential of the 91 trade today. You had this liquidity here, and here as well as key levels. And then previously, another way that you can draw it is the FVGs, which I showed you earlier as well, guys. So I'm sure that is a question that comes up regularly, but yeah, that's different ways that you can draw it. And as you can see, sometimes there's actually confluence, right, between that. So this liquidity event here on the daily way back in the 12th of November actually really aligns nicely with the weekly FVG. Okay, so yeah, that's how you can draw that out. All right. All right, I gotta read through chat. Sui, yeah, I can look at Sui. Here we go. So Sui's holding up pretty good, actually. For me right now, I'm just kind of chilling with it. I did expect it to reject from that level. That's why I wasn't too keen to buy. We saw nice strength off the 0.5, but this is where, look, you could trade off that level and maybe intraday trade, where I'm sure Sexy has been doing that quite regularly. But I wasn't keen for this to be a area of spot accumulation again. I was preferencing lower due to the reasons that I've explained earlier in this video. The macro sentiment on BTC was lower, so you have to preference that first. So Sui, for me, watch that 2.34 region. I mean, this has done so well. Like, if you look at this, like, it went up 11x. So we're not far away from a potential reversal, but we're not quite there on the weekly. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's probably lower still. Probably watch that 2.35 region. If not, watch these levels down here, okay? These levels here at about 1.8 is where I would become more interested. However, if we hold this region and then macro looks better, BTC looks better, then I'm keen to maybe dive into it. I said that before. Like, I'm not really interested in altcoins right now. My preference right now is focusing on BTC and what's happening there. And then if you really want to expand from that, ETH looks pretty rubbish at the moment. So look at Sol, because it's come down so hard. So that's my thesis. But that's Sui. What was the other question? The Jupiter. So the reason I drew a long Jupe, no, that's JLP. I'm very glad we cut that one, guys. Very glad we cut that one. Jupe. Okay, Jupe was at this key level, and it actually is still at that key level. And we only just got tapped out. Wow, wild. And it's, again, momentum on the weekly obviously is still favoring lower. We literally got stopped out. I should have been a little bit more generous there. But yeah, if we can't hold that, guys, if we can't hold this key level here, then more, why is that a purple line? It's weird. Anyways, if we can't hold that level, guys, then yeah, it's definitely Jupe's going back to 0.56. And then if not, all the way back down to 0.47. Look, sure, they have buybacks, but yeah, guys, you have to you have to dive deeper with your analysis. Okay, look at what has just happened to the Solana ecosystem. They've just been absolutely obliterated with the meme coin scams, with Meteora, with Jupiter. Okay, so much negativity is why fundamentals are so important as well as technicals. Like, that is absolutely imperative, as the best traders understand both. I know a lot of traders who only use one or the other. It's so important. If you can really understand both technical and fundamental analysis, you're going to be such a good trader. Okay, so yeah, Jupiter's holding a key level. I mean, if we do start to see Bitcoin hold a level, then I probably would like to maybe look for a Jupiter long again. But yeah, massive level this. If not, red zone down below. AVAX, where are you? Where are you? There you go. 20 ducks. So it is below its key level again. I think this is just going to be one that just doesn't do well this cycle, personally. I mean, what more can you... We have battled and tested for so long on this chart. Let's have a look. Let's go bigger. Okay, so AVAX for me, 1750. 1750. If BTC continues lower, look at 1750 as potential area. We could probably say, let's have a look at this. Okay, let me reevaluate. 23 was a key level. It is now no longer a key level for me. This is why zooming out is also important, guys. Look at, if you zoomed out to the monthly, you would have seen that was rejection from a trend of that previous high that we set earlier in the cycle. So yeah, even I didn't look at that macro analysis there. So that's always good to look at as well. But if you look at this, okay, we're at a key level at that level there. Here, okay, there we go. So that's a key level. If that doesn't hold, then more than likely we revisit that 17.5 level. And if you don't hold that, guys, it's not good. It is not good. Okay, so that's it. But I mean, if you really, really want to look at it, guys, that is the full range of AVAX history, okay, playing out as we see it right now. So that's quite interesting for me. Very interesting for me right now. Yeah, we're seeing this chart in ETH is fascinating. Very fascinating. Quite bearish when you consider the macro. Like, if you look at ETH as well, same again. I have changed it recently to be represent. But like, this is a range. Look at this. From 21. And that's the same on AVAX. It is a range from 21. Okay, so that's pretty crazy how bearish. And this cycle has been one of rotation and one of struggling attention. So in other words, we've seen massive. We saw a Solana NFT season. We saw an ordinal scene. We saw a very mini rune season. We saw meme coins on ETH way back do well. We saw meme coins on Solana dominate. We then saw meme coins on Base, BNB, AVAX, Sui. So it's just been rotation, and you know what has been the sacrifice, and it has to, because there's not enough traders, not enough volume. You know what's been the sacrifice? Altcoins. And that's been so clearly evident this cycle, except for obviously those exceptions like Solana and Sui and Radium, because they had the narrative, they had the meta, they had the tech to support that rotation of money, right? So yeah, so it really sucks, because AVAX is a great product. It really is actually a great product. All good, Cappy, mate. GN to you. Okay. All right. Cool. That covers the questions there. No need to feel like you need to go over again. No, you're happy. Very happy to go over them. Yeah, guys. Oh, Tau. Yep, absolutely. That's a good one to keep an eye on as well. I mean, it's less old, so we'll have to go down the weekly. I did look at potentially long it today. I wasn't confident, so I didn't take the trade. Very grateful I didn't do that. We would have got stopped out as well. So, yeah, again, not the best looking chart. You've changed trends, right? So just to show you, okay, if we clear some lines here. So, you have high highs. You had higher low, and then lower low. So at that point there, it changed, all right? So that is where the trend is now no longer your friend, okay, and you're in that zone. So I'm not, as I said, like, I'm not really interested in altcoins yet. I really am not, until I really see confidence in BTC dominance going down and BTC showing me that it potentially wants to maybe reverse what it's been doing. So something like this, watch this apex of this sort of play out over the coming weeks, if not months. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really interested just yet. As I said before, I'm happy to fade. Like, even if it like sets in a higher low here, or this is the low and it does something like this, I'm happy to wait until this area here, this area here before getting in. I'm not trying to knife catch lows on altcoins that have suffered. Not when BTC is also suffering, and looks like we bounced nicely off that area actually. But yeah, so that's it. So not yet for me. Yeah, we bounced really nicely off that. Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't on here, I would have maybe scalp traded that 1%. But yeah, okay, good to know. Good to know. But yeah, I mean, again, it could fold off. Do exactly what happened here, right? Could be like, yeah, okay, oh yeah, nice. We'll stay here. We'll stay here. No. We're going low. We're going low. Okay, we'll stay here. No. We'll go low. It could do something like that. We could step ladder down like this. Okay, very quickly, mind you. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at the moment. Cool. Deep, I don't know if I even have that on my list. I never bought it. I don't have it. I just double check that's the right Tigger though. Deep Book, I assume, is the one you want. Yeah, it is. Cool. All right, cool. You're welcome. Okay, a couple of things. Firstly, you got a macro support. Bang, 3 touches there. If that loses, not good. Same again. The trend here is not your friend, and it hasn't been your friend for a while. You're setting lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Okay, lower highs like this. Okay, like this, like this, like this for a long time. That means the trend is not your friend. Where I would maybe potentially consider it is if it does set a higher high here. Sorry, high low. That is where I would consider potential long. But again, I'm waiting for macro to be way better before I look to long altcoins at this stage. And I'm talking higher time frame swing trades. Not like if you want to scalp trade, go for it. Sexy is the go to that. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have the time to sit at the charts and scalp trade, then I am sitting patiently waiting for macro to give me more confidence. All right, any other questions? If not, hopefully that gives you really good analysis, guys. And thanks for tuning in.